Hello and welcome to Sorcerer's Workshop, where we are always cooking up something new for you to use in your next D&D adventure. This week on 3 Minute Miniatures we have these giant insects and arachnoids. The spider is an arachnid. But I call it giant insects because arachnid I don't know how to spell. So we have this. We have a giant spider, a giant fire beetle, and a giant wasp. Here is the miniature just for a bit of scale. I thought I'd put them all together just before we have a look at them all individually. Starting with the giant wasp, it is an already sort of just a very dollar store-bought wasp toy, you could say, that I just painted very, very, very quickly to look a bit like a giant wasp before putting it on a base with a bit of flocking and painting it some grassy sort of colours. It looks pretty good, and from 3 feet away, that's a wasp. It's a giant wasp, and it's good size to the characters. The design on it is pretty, pretty normal of a wasp. So that's that. Here is the giant fire beetle. Again, it is just a store-bought beetle that is sort of painted up with a blue undercoat and a red undercoat on the back, blue on the front, and then sort of painted or more sort of washed over with a couple of layers of yellow to sort of give a glowing effect. We've got a bit of red on the front under the sort of the front of the beetle, and then the legs are just painted green. And finally we have this, the giant spider. This is not store-bought, this is completely made, scratch built by me, mostly made from foam, but the legs are made from cocktail sticks, sort of broken and bent into a few different pieces. I actually really like this giant spider. I just think it's a really cool build. It is on a large base because giant spiders are a large thing, but even for giant spiders it is quite big. But I wanted to make it because I already have a couple of other sort of smaller giant spiders, so I wanted to make a really big one. It looks quite good. I think the proportions are pretty close, and a few of the legs are in the air. There you are, compared to my sort of comparison miniature, so you can see it is really, it's quite big for what it is. But the base is very basic, but the color scheme is very basic, but it looks pretty cool. The stance is quite a cool stance, I think. So here are all of them all together. That is 3 Minute Miniatures Giant Insects for this week. I want to thank you all very much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Otherwise, keep crafting, and until next time, I shall see you next week. Thank you and goodbye.